As the first light of dawn slowly began to spill over the village, the blacksmith's shop stood silent for a moment, waiting for the day to begin. The air was cool and still, with a hint of dampness from the early morning mist that lingered just beyond the stone walls. Inside, the hearth had already been stoked, its glowing embers casting a soft, flickering light across the wooden beams of the ceiling. It was in this quiet, peaceful morning that the blacksmith would begin his daily routine. The tools, worn and well used, lay neatly arranged on the workbench. The heavy hammer, its wooden handle smooth from years of use, waited patiently beside a tongs, curved and blackened from contact with the fire. The anvil, large and sturdy, sat firmly in the center of the room, the surface marked by years of shaping metal. The smell of iron and coal filled the air, a familiar scent that mingled with the faint aroma of fresh bread drifting in from the nearby bakery. The first task was simple, but important. The blacksmith would stoke the fire, carefully adding more coal to keep the flames steady. The sound of the bellows, gently creaking as they were worked, was soft and rhythmic, like a lullaby. The fire crackled, the warmth growing, as the heat from the coals gradually began to seep into the iron pieces waiting to be forged. Once the fire was just right, the blacksmith would take a piece of cold iron, feeling its weight in his hands. He would place it gently into the flames, watching as the red glow spread across the surface. The metal would soften, becoming malleable, ready to be shaped into whatever was needed. The process was slow, methodical, and calming. The sound of the hammer striking the anvil echoed softly through the room, each blow purposeful, steady, and deliberate. Sparks flew into the air with every strike, dancing like tiny stars before fading into the quiet warmth. The rhythmic hammering continued, a familiar and comforting sound that spoke of craftsmanship, tradition, and time-honored skill. Outside, the world slowly began to wake. The birds began their morning song, and the village started to stir with the quiet movements of the people beginning their day. But inside the blacksmith's shop, there was only the sound of iron meeting steel, the steady heat of the fire, and the soft, even rhythm of the work. It was a peaceful, unhurried morning, where time seemed to slow down, allowing the blacksmith to focus on his craft, each moment unfolding gently, without rush or worry. And so, the day began, just as it had each morning before, in the quiet routine of the medieval blacksmith, where hammering sparks and heating iron became the comforting heartbeat of the village.